Hey, welcome to the tutorial. This time we're going to do importing and exporting text from Neos into your worlds and gadgets. This is super useful for things like experiments or data recording. It's a request from Igrium on Discord, but also from SHFR and that entire lab. I built a bunch of sort of widgets for them whilst I was over there, but now it's time to sort of show you how I did it. And so here we go. We'll go over as many of the methods I know about. There's always more methods that I don't know about, but I'll go over the common ones about importing and exporting text and talk about which one I recommend. Let's get started. So I'm going to hop over to Smooth POV. And we're first of all going to cover importing. So I'm going to go to Tools, File, Browser, and you'll see I'm within a folder on my computer, and that there are a bunch of text files here. They're just called .txt. So if I double click on potato.txt, sorry, I'm not doing models today, then you'll see I get a nice floating piece of text. This is the credits from the tea house map, so check that out in the tea house if you want to just double check it's exactly the same, but I can guarantee you it is. And you'll see it's imported in as a full window. Additionally, here I have test1.txt. If I double click that, you'll see just some gobbledygook. That's fine. And these both were imported straight from the file browser. So that's how you get imports going. But that's not really that useful for experiments or for running data or gadgets or anything like that. And so there's another way to do it, which I would recommend for data that you want to use within Logix, and that's importing it as a LogiX string. You can see here on the file browser I have string.logixstring as a file. That could be anything. That could be potato.logixstring, but I've just called it string.logixstring. If I double click that, you'll see it gets imported as a string variable with Logix, and if I put a display node on that, you'll see I get some gobbledygook. That there was created in Windows. It's just a text document with a different extension on it. So you do new file, you put some text in it in Notepad, and then you call it .logixstring on the end there. There you go, that's importing. Let's cover exporting next. It's kind of easy because we have some files here that we can export. So if we grab this file here, thouse credits, and we go back to my file browser, I can hit the plus icon here and export it. And you'll see a dialog appears and it says name it. So I'll name it test 8, plain text file export, and it's done. So it's now exported that whole text file as test 8. So now if I double click that, you'll see exactly the same contents comes back in. That doesn't work when you use it on this string though. It asks me what type of model I want. And the reason behind that is stuff that is exportable as text needs to have a special component on it. If we inspect the potato.txt here, you'll see the component is right here, TextExportable. TextExportable has the standard properties that everything else does. It then has a text source, which is where the text data is found that it's going to export. The extension for the text file, so txt, you could also do CSV if you were doing comma-separated values, or TSV. Let's not go into all the file extensions. And then a description, which is plain text file. Both of those can be customized to your liking. To prove how we can do that, let's go ahead and add TextExportable to this string node. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect it. Always go to the top of nodes. So here you have to hit up arrow twice. And now we're on the imported LogiX string. And we can do attach component, assets, export, TextExportable, and then you drag the value of the string register into the text source. And now when I grab this, open my file browser, hit plus, you'll see export as plain text file. And then again, you can do potato here. Let's do potato 4, export. It's done. We'll turn away over here. And there's that exact same string saved in. You could also change the extension here to be LogiX string. Do LogiX string. And then I can export this. There we go. And I can call it whatever. Potato 12. It's quite late. That's done. So you'll see potato12.logixstring. And if I come over here to some empty space and double click on potato 12, then there you go. It's come in, and again, it's got the same contents. So that's import and export in various types. Just remember to add that text exportable component. You can add that anywhere. I have a gadget, which I'll show you a bit later, but it's not ready for release yet. I've got to do some work on it, but we'll take a look at that one. Next way that you can export stuff is you can actually use your clipboard here. So up here, you'll see that there is a gobbledygook value here in this value within the inspector. I can select that. I can hold shift, and I can... Oh, it looks like that's not... There we go. I had to hold shift. You see how that has now got the green highlighting over it? If you find your physical keyboard within the world and you focus Neos, make sure you've got Neos in focus, as in it's the thing that your cursor's on outside of VR. Hit Control-C, then it will be on your clipboard. So I've now put that gobbledygook on my clipboard, and I could then go to Notepad, which I'm doing. You'll just have to take my word for it, as the recording isn't set up to capture that for now. So I'm over in Notepad, and I'm going to do paste. And it's saved there. I'm also going to save that, and we're going to save that as a different file name so that we can then import it back in again. And I'm going to save it as a LogiX string. I'm going to save it as string 7. There we go. So I copied that out and I saved it into a file called LogiX String 7. Whenever you add files outside of Neos to this folder, you'll need to refresh it by just going up one, down one. And so you'll see here string7.logixstring. If I pull a display node, you'll see what actually happened there was that I pasted twice. So this was paste 1 and this was paste 2. I just tapped the button twice. I use OVR Toolkit to paste outside of VR. You could also go find your physical keyboard in the world and do Control-V there. Just make sure you're focused in the right area. So that's copying and pasting. You can also paste into Neos from your clipboard. So I still have that string on my clipboard, so I can go to create a new string input. I can select that. I can make sure that Neos is focused and find my keyboard and go paste again. And you'll see there we go. I've pasted that straight from my clipboard. So that's import, export with the file browser dialogues, and import and export with Control-C and Control-V. There is one more, but I'm actually going to save that for a part 2 because it has some caveats to that, and that's going to be the node. So look forward to that. In part 2, I'll also show you the gadget I made. It's over here, but it's not quite ready yet. So look out for part 2. I will see you next time.